time to come out of the Arcturian Assassination Starseed closet. Some of you might recognize that phrase vaguely. Time to come out of the Arcturian Starseed closet. Some of you might recognize a book, ET 101. Where'd you learn about it? You learned about it from a video, an Indian girl in a video. Time to come out of the Arcturian Starseed closet. This video is made by someone who goes by Sudevi, but the full name, I will spell it for you, is MaNithyaSudevi. That's M as in Mary, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, I as in Igloo, T as in Tom, H as in House, Y is in Yo-Yo, A is in Apple, S is in Sam, U is in Umbrella, D is in Dog, E is in Edward, V is in Vendetta, I is in Igloo, MaNithyaSudevi. Or, you know her from the video mentioning ET 101, where most of us know about ET 101 from, and time to come out of the Arcturian Starseed closet. But you know what? Regardless of if people are willing to hear, I'm ready to talk, because I'm coming out of the Arcturian Assassination Starseed closet. MaNithyaSudevi tried to assassinate me. Why? Because in the middle of me intercepting the nuclear arm of Agenda 21, I thought to myself it would be a good idea to buy some of her jewelry, which, for example, this is one of her pieces. This is another one. Now, all of these pieces were cursed to kill me, but some of them, like this one, there was another one that I had as well, but that was telekinetically taken from me because the reptilians realized, uh-oh, she's starting to figure out how to reprogram the crystals. If she figures out how to reprogram this stuff, we could be screwed. So they managed to take the other one away from me, but I still managed to hold on to the fluorite. Now, I'm able to hold this in my hands right now, but when I first opened the bag, which I was forced to do under duress of the entity that now inhabits the body of my mother, who acted like a greasy old man, who made very coarse jokes about how they were going to cut apart the bracelets and what they represented. Some of you have seen me wear many different bracelets. Now, I spent about $300, almost $400, $350, $375, almost $400. And what did I receive? I received some stuff that I sure as hell did not order, and that's why I've got some of it here to show to you. One of these things I definitely did not order was the whole crystal poppet concept here. Now, I had redone our crystal poppet thing, changing it around, but when this first showed up, along with all of these other ones, also, just so you guys know, Satanists, they put things in these little kinds of bags because it's symbolic. I know this because I was under duress being made to open them. The 3 packages that arrived had been sent in a 2-day express mail. I don't have those packages anymore because, due to the magnetic attacks that were occurring, the packaging material would fly at me, and then when it would hit me, it would infect me with a flesh-eating bacteria. But on the outside of the packages were distinct, in her handwriting, the same as the postcards that I've already shown on camera, denoting things like blood types, and such. Very, very strange markings on the fronts of each of the 3 packages. Why were there 3 packages? Because I ordered 3 different times, hoping that maybe that would be able to help me. Maybe getting some sort of crystals would be able to allow me to access the energy of the crystals and be able to better protect myself from the hellstorm of this possession that they attempted to do to me, because I began to intercept what would have been a nuclear attack targeted essentially at New York in the Atlantic Ocean to form a tidal wave going through New York and devastating New York, in addition to radiation. So you'd think, oh, why would they crash it into the ocean? Why would they crash a nuclear weapon into the ocean? Well, you don't really die from nuclear war. The worst part is the radiation poisoning. What my nanny's father died from, who survived the Hiroshima explosion. The woman who raised me survived the bombing of Hiroshima. She was far enough away, and she was young enough to be able to survive. Her father was not so lucky. He worked in the city. He didn't die outright, though. That's why I know about radiation poisoning. Either way, the idea, you see, is these were sent in different packages, some in bags like this. There was also a bag like this that was purple. Now, the thing inside of my mother would insist that I open it and then dump it out like this. Dump out, this is a piece of quartz, was not related, though, and that I would dump out whatever into my hand. This is some sort of symbolic action that I have noticed amongst the satanic reptilian crowd. This particular bracelet was in a special sort of bag, done very carefully, and I won't say what it clearly represents, but there was a reason that they wanted to get their hands on this. And the thing inside of my mother, whatever was animating her body, perhaps a shape-shifted reptilian who had murdered my mother, that's also an option. Remember, now we know that my mother is actually partly reptilian hybrid. If you were to look at her, you would see, oh yeah, she has the physical features, she exhibits all of the behaviors of reptilians that are people that are hybridized. She had been like that her whole life. She'd never quite known why. It appeared she didn't quite know why, but maybe she did. That's the damning. That's what's so damning about the whole thing. Now, when I would come into contact with specifically the fluorite and the other bracelet that I don't have because it was taken from me, because they thought, oh, this girl's figuring out how to reprogram the stuff. What if she figures out how to reprogram it? She could use it against us. That was why they tried to take them from me. Now, when I wore this bracelet, now I can touch it to my skin without, having to immediately take it off my skin. But what would happen is this would immediately begin to change colors into a kind of yellow almost. And I would feel my bone structure breaking. It would feel as if I was becoming brittle. I would wear these different ones, for example, or these earrings here, or these here. Also, moldavite, I had to remove, you see, the moldavite from the poppets that they were attached to. I basically did not order a thing done up as a puppet of myself. I did not order something done up as a puppet of myself to kill me. No. So you know what? Sudevi, I think she goes by Sudevi, even though it's MaNithyaSudevi, MaNithyaSudevi. You can look that up, or you can simply look up "Time to Come Out of the Arcturian Starseed Closet." because I know if you're looking up things about Arcturians and you found me that way, you've definitely seen her video about that, and that's how you know about ET-101. So, I thought to myself, maybe I should buy some of her crystals that she's making. Maybe that could help me during all of this stuff that's happening to me, all of these things that are going on, being thrown at me out of the middle of nowhere, this radiation poisoning, this strange chemical warfare, these biological attacks, everything that's being done to me. Maybe this can help me. I would argue that perhaps what she sent was intercepted and then someone cursed it on the way here. But she wouldn't even have sent the jewelry had I not been such a fighter and still alive. She'd said, "Talk to me in a week and tell me how you are." I realized it had practically been a week, and I know that the mail doesn't take that long from Canada, from Vancouver, because I've had people mail me things from Vancouver before with regular post. And that was supposed to be the mail. I didn't pay for any special mail. She didn't offer any. But when it arrives, it's actually been sent 2-day express, because they realized, Krista's not dead, and Krista's figuring this out. She's expecting the stuff to come, and I had said strongly, my jewelry arrives, it comes to me. So what'd she do? Curse all the stuff. And now this fluorite. This fluorite and the other bracelet, which I cannot show you, but it resembles this green bracelet that I'm holding here, resembles this, but with faceted white gems, which I actually cannot remember the name of. When I touched them, immediately out of the envelope, which had strange markings on like A, B, and different things that were blood related, that looked like blood types. When immediately upon touching them, my mother was forcing me to touch each item. And I thought, okay, there's got to be a reason behind this. And sure enough, when I touched this one and the other one that resembled this but was white, the one that resembled this one but was white, suddenly, immediately, it began to have black specks, dark green, black specks began to appear all over it. There was, and I suddenly could see these were made, this one and this other and the other one, these were made with some sort of blood, or with human sacrifice of some kind. Oh my God. Something is seriously dark here. Now, I'm not quite sure if I've totally really fixed this. I'm not quite sure if I'd have to go to someone else who really specializes in crystals and defends against the dark arts to actually do something with this thing, because I know the answer is not to throw it out. I know that I'm supposed to keep the thing and do whatever it takes to attempt to fix it. But what I am not supposed to do is sit back and just let $375 get taken from me. What I must do is ask for the money back. However, I opened up the Bible asking, what should I do? And it turned to the parable of the shrewd manager. This man was having a problem, and he called in his different servants to his master, saying, "How much do you owe?" One man said, "I owe 1,100 bushels of wheat." And the manager said, "Make it 800, and we'll be done with it." He called in someone else, and they said, "I owe 800 shekels." And he said, "Make it 400, and then we'll be finished with it." Again, a third person, "I owe however many livestock." You get the idea. And he said, "Make it less then, and let us be done with it." And so I thought, I see what you mean. They know what they have done. She knows what she has done. Was she in complete control of it? No, she was not, okay? you can look at her videos going back quite a ways, and it appears, especially from her descriptions, it appears very much that she was notified of, you are an Arcturian, but then, as she began to talk about it eventually, she was targeted, and she was turned dark. That's why I exist, because I am the Margot, the deprogrammer. People deprogram just by standing next to me. They swap people out around me with the neighbors to try to handle me somehow, but they can't. Now, you might think, alright, Krista, well, you're really mad at Sudevi. Actually, I'm not. At first, I was pissed beyond recognition. The other thing that she sent me, do I have it right here, readily available? I showed this on another video where I was not nearly as in the position to do this that I am now. But I also received, I don't have the white stone, can't quite figure out what I did with it. I may have thrown it out. Because with many of this stuff, I could feel the energy from it, and I knew, okay, I knew that I could, quote, reprogram things, but I could sense that, but I knew that I didn't know how to do it, and that my best move was to just throw it out. I could see, okay, when I throw it out, they're simply going to take the stones and do more things to me, but the best thing I can do now is simply throw it out, because that way it won't be near me, it won't be affecting me. So that was originally what I had done. Let's see. The silver wire wrapping for the white stone. This was supposed to be a pendant of some kind, but it ended up being a plain white stone. And that is because to him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden mana. I will also give him a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to him who receives it. That's Satan channeling in Revelation. When I walked over and I discovered the wood pile that my satanic stepfather planned to burn me on, I also discovered a key. This is the key of David symbology, placed in the sun, which looked almost radioactive in a strange way. I don't know how to describe it. It looked like bronze, but also had a green sheen to it. It looked like placing it in the sun did something along the lines of solar energy. It was a type of key with the goat's head, with the Baphomet, the goat's head symbol, Baphomet here, and it was pointed at a white stone on the table in the front of the house I grew up in. And I, seeing this in here, seeing, oh my God, I've been sent this white stone wrapped up with the silver wrap. Hold on a minute, because I did get the wrapping to show here. Alright, well, I couldn't actually find it here. I know it's literally sitting right here. Basically, simply see this copper wire, this is silver wire, and it was wrapped around a white stone. The silver wrap I do still have. It's undoubtedly on the ground somewhere, and it isn't honestly that interesting to look at. But what is so utterly damning is that, now this was not attached here, this was black tourmaline that she said that she was sending me for psychic grounding protection, which she was doing to cover her ass in case I survived. Yeah. Because I did not order a little poppet of myself. No, I did not order any kind of poppet of myself to murder me. Also, I ordered one yard of string for the pendants that I had bought, but I didn't exactly receive what exactly I ordered, you see. And when I would place the string around my neck, I would feel it burn into my skin. It would actually leave a red mark. So, it is time to come out of the Arcturian Starseed assassination closet. Sudevi, what you did is unacceptable. It's not going to be tolerated by the light anymore. You have to make amends for this. Namely, due to the things that you've all attempted to do to me, that means giving me back the money that I spent, because I spent all of my own money on that. I did not trouble my mother at all with it. For anyone who could say, oh, but your mother was taking care of you. Not with that, no. I did that on purpose because I thought this is none of my mother's business. This is nothing I should trouble my mother with. And I will spend all that much money by myself. About $375. But what does the parable that Jesus says of the manager? He says, take the debt and reduce it, even though it is still a debt. After having to fix literally every single thing I was ordered, either fix or throw out, every single thing that I received in the mail, or I would not be sitting here alive talking into this camera here, I am definitely owed at least $150. More like 200 something. That exact amount, something that I did not ask about. What exactly should I receive? But when I thought about it, the work involved, the suffering involved, to attempt to fix even the stuff that I'm wearing, so that I could actually wear it, having to take the Moldavite and do all kinds of interesting things to it to attempt to reprogram it. The way they were originally, the way everything was originally done up here, was like the devil's head, the Baphomet head. If you look at this, the idea here is, as you can see, the top one here, the idea is that this is carved up to look like Satan, and that was at the top of the little poppet that I was showing you here. This was the body, this was the head, and then on top of that was the like satanic looking, or satanically shaped Moldavite there. And if I would wear or touch this jewelry, I would feel my organs starting to shut down, I would feel my bones starting to break, or becoming extremely brittle. Then I would have to literally take off the jewelry. And at the time, you might be thinking, why didn't you do something right then? I was almost getting murdered literally every single day. I was imprisoned for 17 days in a hospital where they were performing experiments on me, expecting me to die. And the person there appeared to know Sudevi. They said that apparently one of my meditation practices happened to ruin her tarot studio, or ruin the cards, or shake them around somehow. I don't know anything about that. But I do know that if you're dark and somebody light has to heal themselves or do something regarding light, it's a matter of physics that your dark stuff will break. Whoops. That's a whoops on your part, not a whoops on my part. The light is what is biased to win. Now, what's interesting here is that I'm being asked to repeatedly put this out there because the light wants Sudevi back. The light straight up wants her back. The light says she can be gotten back, basically. She can choose to get out. She's in an area that is so infested, it's not even funny, that Vancouver got just decimated. And that it was really, really quite bad. And while everything was going on there, us in the U.S., we weren't paying attention. We did not know. Those of us in areas where we were still unaffected, or like the people in Austria who are still unaffected right now. However, regardless, there is redemption, but she knows full well she has to give me my money back. And there's going to be no getting around that, period. She has to give me my money back. It's time to come out of the Arcturian assassination Starseed closet, Sudevi. You tried to assassinate me. I have not tried to retaliate against you. What I have done is state the facts. And then, finally, angels say, Krista, you asked about money. Tell her she needs to give you that money back. But, you're asking what to do? Here is the parable of the shrewd manager, who asks for less money back than what is actually owed. Do this, and show the love of Christ. She follows much more of a Hindu tradition, or following a guru. Now, what's quite ironic is that in ET 101, that she mentions, which is why all of us know about ET 101, pretty much, it explains if you're following a guru in there, you got the wrong idea. I'll leave it at that. If you're following a guru, you've got the wrong idea. But then again, do what works, obviously. But I don't think it's working to be in a bunch of darkness following a guru, regardless of if the guru is in darkness or not. So, child of the light, you are wanted back home. You are very, very much eagerly wanted back home. And the reason you drew yourself into this reality, into my reality, why would I watch your video? How did I end up randomly watching your video? How did I end up buying anything from your store? How did I end up doing that? Because I was seeking truth, so were you. You are still seeking the light. I notice people pull me into their reality because they're seeking the light, and sometimes they don't exactly understand that yet, or want to hear it yet, but it's as if they're trying to pull it to themselves unconsciously. I believe that's what you were doing. You were pulling me into your reality unconsciously because you're still seeking the light, and it seeks you. It seeks you because you are very, very dearly loved. Understand that regardless of what you have done, regardless of what necklaces you've made, those custom necklaces you've made, those bracelets with human remains, the light still says, come back, come back, come back. And so here I am, very much outside of the Arcturian Assassination Starseed closet. Come back to us, Sudevi. It's a hard road. It is. It's very hard. Look at me. You'll lose a significant amount of your abilities. You might end up having fellow tarot readers stop you from getting business, just like me and I began. You might have things happen to you on a daily basis to try and stop you. But I posit one question: who is happier? I know instantly that the one who is happier is me. Instantly. Or, if we say it another way, let us average your emotional output over 1 week, and let us average mine. That average, who is, on average, truly happier, consistently happier, consistently in the light of love. Love that is light, not love that is lust. Not love that is lust, or coveting after something. Love that only emanates from the true heart. Love that is unconditional. It is love that is unconditional, which is why I do not turn around and say, okay, I will program these crystals to kill you and mail them back to you. It is unconditional love that says, I see. I see you've brought yourself to me, because I am light in this darkness. Clearly it follows you are wanting to come back to the light. Even if I wasn't getting told that constantly, that they want you back in the light. They might say that, but you yourself say that in a way you think it. Because you wouldn't have encountered me were it not for you ultimately striving for light. There's a way out. You're looking at it. The way out is waiting for you. Do I care what people say? No. Why would I put my livelihood on the line, or my reputation at all on the line, to say, MaNithyaSudevi tried to kill me, if it was not true? I wouldn't. I simply wouldn't. Even more so, that it's taken me basically a month and a half to finally get myself in a position strong enough so that I can say, you did this, and now you'll make amends for it. Then that is how it is. But it need not be the full amount that is owed, because, as Jesus said, take the debt and make it less. Because the prodigal son, the prodigal daughter, as was I, is always welcome home. I said this once, I'll say it again. After you give me that money back, tell me how you are in 2 years. When you said, tell me how you are in 1 week. Blessings on Arcturian philosophy.